can.
Okay. Okay, this is Courtney Warner, and we are here with Paula Warner. She's my mom. Today we are reviewing your food intake, Mom, over a 3-day period to evaluate how your food choices affect the health of your mouth primarily. The health of your oral cavity and the rest of your body are interrelated. Looking at your health questionnaire, some medical findings that we found that might contribute to how your food intake is going to be osteoporosis. You do have slight osteoporosis, and so that could affect, you might need a higher calcium intake for that. And I noticed that on your intraoral and extraoral exam, what I noticed that was outside normal limits was your you have issues with your temporomandibular joint. When you open and close, sometimes you have pain in the side of your mouth.
Right.
Does that affect the way that you eat at all?
When it was really bad, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, I kind of quit eating very much because it hurt. Or then I started taking ibuprofen before I'd eat.
Okay.
But at this point, it does not.
Okay. All right, that's good. And then you also are taking some medications. We have Xanaflex and the Verapamil. Those are both related to your migraines.
Yes.
And do you have dry mouth related to those?
I do not.
Okay. So that shouldn't affect your eating either. So pretty much we're unlimited. The other thing was that I didn't have listed on here, but I believe that you're lactose intolerant. Is that correct?
Somewhat, yes. I don't drink milk. I do eat yogurt. If I eat something that has a lot of cheese on it, like pizza, I'll take Lactaid.
Okay. And I did also notice that you're taking a calcium supplement.
Yes.
Okay. We have that here. It looks like it is 600 milligrams twice a day.
Right.
Okay. The first thing that we're going to look at is the difference between karyogenic and non-karyogenic food. Mm-hmm. Karyogenic means something that would cause cavities. And I'm going to show you in the flip chart here, on this page, we have the karyogenic type foods would be things like crackers, raisins, dessert, fruit, and milk products actually cause it also because they have lactose, which is a sugar. Mm-hmm. I know that your milk choice generally was almond milk, which is non-karyogenic because it doesn't have any sweeteners added to it, and it's made from nut products, so it doesn't have the lactose.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah. And you're still getting your calcium from it, so that's good. Karyostatic means that it doesn't cause cavities, and that would be things like meat, chicken, eggs, most vegetables, and fats. One thing that would be, I know you chew gum sometimes, but sugar-free gum or like sugar-free candies would be something that would help with saliva production, which helps protect your teeth, but it doesn't add sugar, so it wouldn't cause cavities. Let's see here. Karyogenic promotes the formation of cavities. Fermentable carbohydrates start breaking down in the mouth when you're eating, and this results in a lower pH in your mouth. And we went over the karyogenic type foods. The ones, like I said, that are surprising are the milk products and, of course, fruits because they have natural sugars. The caries process is something else that I wanted to show you here. Let's see. Caries process starts with a susceptible tooth surface, and then you have karyogenic microorganisms in your mouth, mainly bacteria. Tons of bacteria in your mouth already, just that's where they live. So when you start eating karyogenic food, your mouth starts breaking that food down right away, and the bacteria in your mouth then can eat those sugars and process it, and then they form an acid. That acid stays on your teeth for about 30 minutes after you're done eating. If you continue to eat and your bacteria continues to produce acid, that it can sit on your tooth longer. That can lead to decay in your teeth. So it's actually the bacteria which are making that happen. If you have adequate home care with brushing twice a day and flossing, then you're actually disrupting that bacteria and it can't get a foothold on your teeth. And therefore, it's a lot harder for it to contribute to decay because it just can't get organized. Your saliva, like I said, your saliva helps to neutralize the acid in your mouth formed by this bacteria within 30 minutes, but that's as long as you don't keep eating. So people who eat all day long and here and there, snacking, your bacteria is constantly producing acid. So eating at meals is important. And I think the Tic Tacs that you eat, those probably have a little bit of sugar in them.
I think they probably do.
Okay. It's not like you're eating a ton of them, but that is something that can be putting sugar, which, again, the bacteria is using throughout the day. So that is something that might...
So maybe see if I can find a sugarless one.
I would do that. Switch to sugar-free and...
because I can't chew gum anymore because of the TMJ.
Okay.
So.
Yes, so don't do that. So yeah, I would look for a sugar-free Tic Tac. Probably wouldn't be that, because that's a good thing to use to kind of have something throughout the day and not add calories. But when you have the sugar constantly on your teeth, that could cause a problem.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah. Okay, so then we looked over your meals, and you circled the ones that, or the food items that you thought would be cariogenic, causing or able to cause cavities. Doesn't mean they have to. But I went ahead and highlighted the ones that are cariogenic. The one that you missed was the yogurt. Well, that has fruit in it also, so that would be a sweetened item. But the milk product. Everything else you got right. You know, the bananas, Cheerios, pasta, because that is, again, you know, anything that's a grain product would be in the potato chips as well. Things that stick in your teeth, like the potato chips, also can be even more of a problem because they don't cut, your saliva doesn't get them out right away. Next page looks like this one had white sauce on the pasta that Dad had made, and again, the milk product.
Sure.
Again, the only one you missed was the milk product on this one, the daily onion dip. But everything else sounds like you have a really good idea of what is cariogenic, and so that's great because you can be aware of that. The Diet Coke that you're drinking is not cariogenic because it doesn't have sugar in it. It does have a low pH, but that in itself does not cause cavities. So that's not something that's cariogenic.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to look at complex carbohydrates versus simple carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates are things like whole grain bread, unprocessed oatmeal, quinoa, broccoli, beans, carrots, and zucchini. And simple carbohydrates are in milk, because lactose is a simple carbohydrate, yogurt, grapes, bananas, and strawberries. Of course, those provide great nutrients as well. Some other simple carbohydrates are sweets, anything with sugar in it, and like desserts, like you had pie on there one day, that would be a simple carbohydrate.
Yes, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. But it's nice to see that the complex carbohydrates doesn't just have to be whole grain. You can get you can get it through other sources as well. The importance of complex versus simple carbohydrates, you know, in general, the complex carbohydrates is what you want to get more of. And in the oral cavity, the simple carbohydrates break down more quickly because they don't have as much structure to them. So in your mouth has an enzyme in it that starts breaking sugars down right away. So it can break those down, and that provides quick food for that bacteria living in your mouth. And it does also provide quick energy to you, so and that's good. But it's just a quick source; it won't last over time. The complex carbohydrates are also good for your overall health because they provide other nutrients, and they're also slower to break down. They make you feel full longer, and they can provide fiber to your diet, and it provides a steady energy source. So it's not going to be you're not going to have any crash once that energy source goes away. Okay, this is your 3-day nutrient report. We have all 3 days included in here. Now, this is based on a 2,000 calorie diet, which is not going to be your target. I wasn't sure how to switch it on the computer system or if it even allowed me to, but yours would be 1,600 calories. This is what choosemyplate.gov, which is a government website, shows what your females 51 years and older should be having is 1,600 calories total.
Okay.
And then this breaks it down by not every single nutrient, but all the important nutrients that we want to talk about. Your average calories eaten was 1,510. So that's very close to where you're supposed to be. So although that says under, it's not really a concern at that point. The ones that we are looking at is you didn't have anything really that was over, but you had things that were under, such as dietary fiber, linolenic acid, which is the omega fatty acid.
Yes, yes.
Potassium, iron, magnesium, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, and choline. Choline is a B vitamin. And what I did is went ahead and highlighted foods that you can eat to get these things.
Okay.
Noticeable in more than one nutrient is the enriched whole grains. It shows up in 4 different sections here: dietary fiber, and even the linolenic acid actually is in that, which you normally think of fish, but vegetable oil, seeds and nuts, and then whole grain products also have that. The other thing was highlighted in orange here are the dark leafy green vegetables or colorful vegetables as well. So that is in the fiber, iron and magnesium, vitamin A, and then back here as well, vitamin K and choline. So 2 different types of food products, if you get more into your diet, would help with a lot of the different things. Oh, vitamin D, 5 to 10 minutes of sun each day. But you do garden, so that's not too much.
Well, and the calcium supplement has vitamin D in it.
So that probably.
I think I probably didn't put that on the list, but it is with D. So
yeah, I guess that helps calcium absorb.
We might be okay with that. But in fact, we've just been talking about the fact that we should have tuna and salmon more frequently than we do, because we don't eat fish much. And but the whole grain products we definitely should increase too. And
I know your bread choices are whole grain, and then I know you do a lot of grains. Like the other day, Dad made barley.
Yeah, we have,
or not barley, but bulgur.
Yeah. And
so I know that you guys choose that. This wasn't very representative of that, and it is 3 days. But it just shows the importance.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna look at your food groups and calories report, which is also kind of representative of what we're talking about here. One of the things that it said you were under in is seafood. Well, you only had 3 days, so I mean, you aren't supposed to eat all seafood that many times a day anyway, or that many times a week. So you only had 3 days, but yeah, that's a good goal, is to try and have more of those. I like that goal. The one thing that it said is your empty calories were over. Having the sundae and the pie in only 3 days, that's one thing that's not super representative of the way that you guys eat, but I think also it's counting some things, some other things in there, because it counts fats and sugars. So there are added sugars like in the yogurt that you eat. Right. Things like that. So that you were a little bit over in that one. But then you were again under in a lot of the things was the other concern. Again, whole grains. Right. You're supposed to have around 3 ounces, and the average eaten was only 1 ounce. So, and then here we have, again, these are all your vegetables. You're under all the time. Right. And I know you guys have talked about that. One suggestion that I would have for that is to try and incorporate a vegetable in at lunchtime.
Right. That's a good suggestion, because I just don't think he's getting enough vegetables in our diet at all with his cooking. So.
Yeah. So if you can do at lunchtime, that would be a perfect time to add something, even if it's a little salad. Right. Or red peppers. Or snack on them raw. Carrots, things like that. And if you do a salad, or like broccoli is one of my favorite things, and it's easy to make, so you could do that for lunch, even though it's an extra step that it's something that would be kind of easy. Right. And that counts as a green leafy vegetable. I think that's a good
suggestion, because I've been thinking we don't eat much for lunch, and we might as well throw a little bit of vegetables in there. Yeah. So
it'd be an easier way to get some of those vegetables in. Let's see here. Okay, I was just looking at my recommendations there, and we pretty much talked about that. And okay, so the other thing was that when you didn't list any drinks on there except for the Diet Coke and the ice that you had that one time as a snack. I know you're not a big drinker of water, but they say that you should be, because it removes and dilutes toxins. 50 to 60% of your body weight is water, and it helps transport chemicals for basic body functions. It also helps regulate body temperature. The recommendation is 9 8-ounce glasses of water a day.
Holy cow.
So what my recommendation would be for you, since you're not a water drinker, is not to drink 9 8-ounce glasses of water, because that's not going to happen. Right. But I would suggest that you try to increase it. One suggestion would be when you're taking your pills, is to drink a glass of water with it. And that way it becomes part of your routine. And I know you're not going to carry a water bottle around with you. So that's one way to help, like I said, get it into your routine and get a little bit extra water.
That sounds like I could do that.
Yep. And then later on, maybe you can increase if you feel like you like it, because it's important for your body. And then we already talked about we're not going to do gum, but to switch your candy to sugar-free candy.
Yeah, I can do that.
And then also swishing your mouth out with water after you eat, or just taking a drink of water. It rinses if you eat something like, say, the day that you had pie for lunch. If you drink water after that, it kind of rinses it off of your teeth, and less remains in there to get with the bacteria. Now, what kind of pastas do you guys use?
We use quinoa quite a bit.
It's a good protein source
We also try to buy the pasta that's I'm not sure what it's called. It's not whole grain, but it has the different...
Is it enriched? Or no? What is it?
No.
It's not whole wheat.
I can't think of what the name of it is. It's got extra protein in it, and I'm sorry, I just can't.
No, that's
I can't
okay.
recall what
that's better
called.
That's better than the white pasta.
I mean, we occasionally have white pasta, but most of the time we don't care for the whole wheat that much, so we tend not to use that.
Okay. Yeah, but I think that's a good way to get some of those grains into your diet. And then, like you said, the quinoa, and then continue to try and use the couscous, bulgur, barley, that kind of thing. And then we talked about adding a veggie to your lunch routine.
Right. That's a good suggestion.
Do you like raw vegetables?
Yeah.
Okay. That's generally the best way to get your nutrients, because cooking can sometimes destroy vitamins and minerals. So really getting them raw is the best, especially now that we're in the summertime.
This is the season to do that. Yeah,
exactly.
That's for sure.
And so basically, I just now want to ask you what you have learned from this activity today.
Well, I think it's really brought into focus that I'm not eating enough fiber, and I knew I was low on vegetables, and I really think, it is important that I make an effort to do that. That's, I guess, the biggest thing, that's important to me. Yeah, Sunday and pie on the same day is pretty unusual.
I know it is. But you know what? That's what keeps you happy, is you got to have that kind of stuff
we got to have it once in a
while.
while. So.
Exactly. And that's why we had you do a weekend day as well. Now, this website you can go to as well. It's called choosemyplate.gov. You can use these same tracker information that I used by entering in your food, and it will tell you this sort of thing. You can also personalize it to yourself. And like I said, it's a government website. And
Why don't you write that down for me?
Sure, I will. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you.